I have 7 of my own. I was pregnant with my first child, and because my mom always told me not to get married out of wedlock, y'all know what our mamas have told us, I felt like I had to get married, right? So that's not always the best decision to make, okay? It also provided me, honestly, a way out of my house. Addiction had touched my house. My mom was struggling with addiction. I grew up living by the beach, had a what I thought was a good life. Never really wanted for anything. But still, addiction touched my life, touched our lives. And so, I was running away from home. And where do we usually run, ladies? To a man. And it's usually not the right one. So, what I realized was that, to be honest, I used to think that my past hindered my present. But it really was a come up for my future, to be honest. Okay? It was a come up. And sometimes we don't think that, and we don't believe that. And I didn't believe it until, I gave my life to Christ. That I really understood, my past and how it brought me to where I am today. So once I decided to leave my marriage of 24 years, and to be honest with you, one day I just woke up, and it was like, even though I didn't know God at the time, He was speaking to me. Because I never thought I would leave my marriage, never. After 6 children, I just never thought I would leave. And I never thought I would leave because I was so emotionally broke down, because I was in an emotionally and physically abusive marriage for 24 years. So the thought of having to leave, I didn't go to college, I raised children, I had babies, because what happens in abusive relationships is that men will do everything that they can to break you down. So whether it's getting you pregnant, whether it's telling you that you're nothing, whether it's financially abusing you, they're going to do everything that they can for you to stay there, okay? Because they're sick, And so basically that's what he did. I was financially abused, I was emotionally abused, and I was physically abused. And so it just got to the point where I could not take it anymore. There were times that I wanted to take my life because I felt like there was no way out. I was wondering, how am I going to support all these children on my own? What am I going to do? He was the breadwinner. I didn't go to work, But because of what I saw when I was growing up, and I saw abuse, subconsciously, that's what I gravitated to. Even though we say that, oh no, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not, we end up in those situations because somewhere in our minds we believe what we see. And so I believed that. I believed that it was okay for a man to beat me. I believed that it was okay for me to be financially abused, because it always came back to, if I did more, it would get better. If I cleaned up more, it would get better. I always tell women that I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Enough. That was my life. I cleaned, literally, you had to see the lines in the carpet. The towels had to be a specific way. Everything, I was cleaning up constantly. So just imagine cleaning up constantly and then having 5 or 6 children. I was just a wreck. I was an emotional wreck. And so I had to, when I left, I really believed that my problems were gone, because I left the man that I felt was abusing me. But honestly, that was the beginning of the most difficult time in my life. Because what happens is that when we're in those type of relationships, we're just as sick. You know what I mean? So when the relationship is removed, then you have to look in the mirror at yourself. You have to look in the mirror at yourself. And a lot of times that's not a pretty picture. It's just not. When I left my children with my ex-husband because I didn't know where I was going. I was willing to live in my car. You know, but to be honest with you, if I have to look back on it, it was the worst thing that I could have ever done. Because they are dealing with the emotional trauma of me leaving. And then he was emotionally abusive to them. And so, you know, I had to deal with all of these things. I had to confront all of this stuff. And it was very difficult. So it was really my time to see what I was made of, to be honest with you. Because I didn't know what I was made of. I was being told what to do constantly. I was being directed in everything. I didn't believe in myself. My self-esteem was at an all-time low. I thought that I couldn't make it without a man. And so it really, really tested my faith completely. And I didn't even have any faith, to be honest. So it was a very difficult time, but you know,